A pretty website is great. I am all about pretty and visuals and all of the things. But if you're not doing the back end work to make sure the right people are finding those pretty things, then there's really no sense in having them there. And so nailing that down and making sense of who I wanted to visit my website, who my ideal client is, how do we speak to them, what words are going to bring them to my website. It was fun and just really great to finally feel like I had a handle on it.
You're listening to the Copywriter On Call podcast. I'm your host, Sara Gillis, copywriter, word magic maker, and owner of What Sara Said. On this podcast, you'll feel empowered to show up online in a way that has you saying, "That's so me." Let's get started. Welcome back to another episode of the Copywriter On Call podcast. I am your host, Sara Gillis, and I am logging some on-call hours today with Kelly, a student of mine who participated in the first round of Storysale, which is my group coaching program for creative business owners. Kelly is a branding and graphic designer based in South Dakota, but serving clients nationwide. And I am so thrilled to welcome her to the Copywriter On Call podcast. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Sarah. It's so fun to be here with you today.
Of course. Love it. Love it. So tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what you love about what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Kelly Wollman. I'm a graphic designer. I launched my own business, Be Creative, 6 years ago. I specialize in brand design. It's my passion. I love that. It's absolutely my love. But I also help my clients with social media templates and all of the fun things to keep them on brand and market their business with ease.
Love that. Love that. So tell me a little bit about why starting your own business was on your heart. What about owning your own business and really flexing that muscle really spoke to you?
Yeah. Throughout college and school for design, I never could have anticipated starting my own business. But my husband and I moved to a rural community in South Dakota, and finding a job I had a job and it was somewhat fulfilling, but it was not what I needed in my life. And so it started showing the growth that could happen. And if I could just take that dive, how good it could be. And so I took that leap and I started Be Creative, and I've had so much local support. And then it's just grown from there to be something even bigger.
Yeah, I love that. What is it about branding and design that really lights you up?
Creativity has always been just such a big part of who I am. And also just having that change of pace every day. But what I have really found in the years of doing what I do, what I love the most is connecting and making an impact with other business owners. Being that small business owner myself, now I know the struggles, I know the mishaps, I know the strengths and what it takes to feel confident in doing that. And so connecting and watching these businesses launch and take on their own, it's so fulfilling.
I love that. I think it's so important to find whatever sparks that creativity in you. And I love that you've made your own way by really harnessing that. So, and you're gifting that to other business owners as well, which is just the best.
It's so fun.
Love that. So tell me a little bit about how we first connected and how you learned about Storysale and what initially drew your interest.
Sure. Well, I love following you, Sara, on Instagram, have for years. And you just build those connections where you start to feel like you kind of know somebody and you feel familiar with that person. And you've always been one of those people for me. So in the short answer, it was Instagram, but that's where I first heard about Storysale, and my ears just perked up when I heard about the program and the heart of the program. It just really connects with what I basically try to do for my own clients visually. You take and try to do with copy and other strengths that businesses really need to wrap that all into one big package. So that's where I knew I needed help with Be Creative and elevating those processes. And I knew that's what I needed. And I knew that you were my gal.
Yay. I love that. And spoiler alert, you did all of the branding for Storysale as well. So that was a super fun process.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes. So that's really what drew me in. And I got to learn more behind the scenes of what you were after and what your passion was behind Storysale. Mm-hmm. And so in designing that, it was absolutely one of the joys of 2023 for me, is bringing that vision to life and just how magical and fun and how full of personality it is. And it's because that's who you are. and I couldn't help but jump in and be a part of it. So
Yeah, you did such a beautiful job really bringing my vision to life. And I feel like you got like the insider's peek as to my heart for the program, but it also really just it really translated well in the visuals you created. And then to see you come in as a student too was just the icing on the cake. It was
it
really,
really, it was like the full circle moment, and it was fantastic. And thank you
yeah,
for your compliments. It
of
was
course.
easy to design for someone who has such a good visual of what they're after. So
I appreciate that. That's awesome. So our first month inside Storysale was all about website copy. So tell me a little bit about how you showed up online in your website before we started working together.
sure. I was not showing up on my website, come to find. You know, I think I had a hard time looking into pairing myself with my business. It was there on Instagram. I show up as myself a lot there. But when it came to my online home that was my own place, I was not showing up. I was describing my business. I was describing what I could do for clients, but I wasn't there. I wasn't presenting who I am and why I love to do what I do. And so the transformation has been just amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think that social media is so much easier to show up online as ourselves because that's the purpose of it, right? We need to
Yeah.
present ourselves in order to engage with people, in order to be social. Whereas our website, it's like, oh yeah, that thing that I like got launched and called it good. Like, I think that that's really where a lot of business owners get stuck. And you're not alone in the fact that like you're looking at it and saying, I'm not really here. I'm not really showing up here in the way that I could. So
Right.
tell me about that transformation now. How are you feeling about your website now? What does it feel like now? And what about Storysale really helped you to show up
Mhm.
that way?
The timing couldn't have been better because I was already in the process of rebranding my
Mm.
business with the anticipation of completely revamping my website to begin with. And so
Mm.
Storysale came in at the exact right time. And
Love
so
it.
the transformation has been just complete with the visual and the copy and just everything there. So now I've never been more proud of my website, and it's still not 100%. I'm going to get there. But going through all of those pages with you and writing copy for the homepage and the services page, and the fact that I didn't even have an about page prior to
Mhm.
says a lot.
Yeah.
So I just feel like now when I visit my website and when potential clients visit my website, it's not just what can Kelly do for me? It's who is Kelly and why can she do what she does for me? And are we a good fit? So
Yeah.
it really just is all encompassing now.
I love that. And I think that the story was always there. It was just hiding a little bit behind all of the deliverables that you were giving and all of the services that you were providing. And so teasing that out together has been such a fun process. I
Yes.
love seeing the end result of it all.
Yeah. Writing with you is just such a pleasure. Like it was just so fun. It's so creative,
Mhm.
and you just have such a way of bringing those things out in people.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I think too, like writing copy can be really intimidating, especially if you've been in business for a while. I
Mhm.
think like we get into our own heads. And I mean, I'm certainly not alone. I experience writer's block too. But I think that when it comes to really teasing out those stories, you need somebody to walk alongside you and ask you those critical questions, ask you those things that maybe you aren't thinking of. And really tease out what we can accomplish together in copy to really
Absolutely.
get to know your people.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yep. And
So the second month of Story Sale, it was kind of a mixed bag. We dove into pricing, profitability, and then SEO. So what were your main takeaways from each of these kinds of lessons?
it was such a good little segment. Pricing was an aha moment for me. I struggle with pricing as a service-based business. It's really hard to figure out the value of what you're offering, having different packages and what should those packages be priced at? What should be the difference there? And finding that out really took stepping back and looking at the financials of my business and what my goals were for my business and making that all fit the little puzzle pieces to go, okay, if I want this, I need to do this, this, this. And so it all finally clicked in that portion. And it was really, really like fulfilling to have that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I feel like pricing is such a hot button issue for a lot of service-based business owners, myself included. And until I figured out like, okay, if I want to make X, I need to charge Y. Like until I actually connected those two things and realized that like pricing shouldn't be just like a pie in the sky number. It should actually be grounded in reality.
Mhm.
Like it's not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. It's a real honest look at, okay, here's what I need to make ends meet. Here's what I am worth based on all of the education I've done, all of the years I've been in business, and here's what I can do, and here's what I can do to serve my people. And so I love that you had this aha moment. What does your pricing journey look like now? Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Right. It has been a journey. I feel like I'm getting there. I was very much undercutting my value before, is what I found out and what you helped me to uncover. And so, as scary as it is to put a higher price tag on things, it's scary. It just is. It's never going to not be. I feel way more confident in putting that price tag to it now than I would have before. Now I understand what I'm offering. And so I am way more confident in saying, this is what I'm offering and this is the value. This is what it's going to do for you.
Right. I think too, when you think about your pricing as not being a reflection of your worth as a human being, your worth as a service provider, like you separate and divorce those two things. And it's just simply, it's a commodity, right?
Yeah.
And it's so hard to think of it that way because we pour our hearts into what we do, right?
Right.
That's why we're so good at what we do, is because we pour in all of our creativity, all of our heart.
Absolutely.
But divorcing it from, oh, this is about who I am as a person.
Right.
No, it's
Right.
about who you are able to serve and how you are able to serve them. That's a really
Absolutely.
big distinction.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
What about the SEO part of the course and the program? What were your main takeaways?
SEO was fun. And I don't know how many people would say that. I sure didn't think I would. But, a pretty website is great. I am all about pretty and visuals and all of the things. But if you're not doing the back end work to make sure the right people are finding those pretty things, then there's really no sense in having them there. And so nailing that down and making sense of who I wanted to visit my website, who my ideal client is, how do we speak to them, what words are going to bring them to my website. It was fun and just really great to finally feel like I had a handle on it.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I have one thing to hang my hat on, it's that you said SEO is fun. So I'm going to remember that forever, because literally it was like when I'm like, I better put SEO in this program. I was talking to my business coach about it and she's like, yeah, you probably should. And I'm like, I know it's boring, but it's so important. And so, amen, girl. I'm so glad that you said that. That makes my heart.
And you have a way of making those things easy, right? Because you set us up for success. You don't just have us sitting here floundering going, oh my gosh, what is it? Number one, what is it? Number two, what do I even do with my own? You had a way of figuring out per student what our goals were, what we needed to do, and you helped really guide us to where we needed to go. So that made it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's the way I learned SEO. My own SEO coaches took me right by their side and said, okay, Sarah, here's what we're going to do together.
Yes.
And I really feel like it's like that kindergarten teacher that lives inside of me that's like, you know what? Everybody needs a buddy to just walk alongside. So I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so in the third month, the last month of Storysale, we have talked all about email marketing. And so I would love to know how you've used email marketing before we got started working together and how you're going to use it moving forward.
Yeah. So I'm a ground zero emailer. I have not dove into this at all prior to Storysale. And so it's probably one of the aspects of it I'm super excited about. Finding a way to be creative without the visual is something that I want to do and can do. Reaching out to my followers in a different fashion is something that I really want to bring into my business. And so that's really fun to think about for email, and figuring out who I want to reach, but what do I want to talk about and how can I make that fun and creative at the same time.
Yeah, it's just a new way to serve your audience. And I think that you've done such a good job of cultivating an audience of real, authentic people that engage with you on social. And
Right.
so it's just an extension of that, right? Like,
Right.
it can be anything you want it to be, and it still can have that underlying purpose of just serving your audience, right? Whether you're
Absolutely.
providing them additional content or you're sharing things you love, like all of that can be oriented from a service posture. And I love email that's used that way.
Yeah. Yep. I'm really excited to keep going with it. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
Tell me a little bit about what it was like being coached, but also learning from other people and other business owners inside Storysale.
Sure. Just the absolute best, Sarah. You are such a pleasure to be with and to learn with. You just put us all at ease with what we're trying to do. And so I can't tell you how much we all appreciate that as a group. I'm sure I could speak for the group in saying that. And this group of women, we all had just such a unique path, each of us. And so bringing those to the table and helping each other learn by listening to them come up with email copy or SEO and ideas would pop into our minds, not only of our own business, but ways to help them too. And jump in the chat and say, hey, what about this? And we're all going, oh, yeah. By the end of the call, you're just like championing everybody in that group. And it was just really fun to be a part of and to be coached by someone who you just have so much knowledge in so many aspects of business. You're not just a copy gal. Like, yes, you're amazing at that, but you bring so many strengths to business. And so that is all going to be right in my back pocket going forward. And I thank you so much for that. So
Of course, that's so kind. I think that I learned so much from you guys as students too, because obviously you guys have strengths that I just do not have. And the visuals is one of them. Branding is one of them. And the intention behind that is one of them. I know the word side, I know the copy side and the
mhm.
intention behind those, but marrying all of the different aspects of business together. I mean, you and another student in our cohort really had a handle on the visuals from a photography standpoint, but also from a branding standpoint. And the other two members really brought unique perspectives and unique businesses to the forefront. And I'm just counting myself doubly blessed that I was able to learn from all of you as well.
Well, same. It's just, yeah, it's been a great experience.
So, what would you say to someone who is considering enrolling in Storysale or looking at participating in a group coaching program, maybe for the first time?
Yeah, do it. Just go ahead and do it because this was the first time I had ever welcomed coaching into my business. And I'm 6 years in. It was time. If I hadn't have done it before, which I probably should have leaned into that earlier in my business life, whatever stage of business you're in or whatever level of copy you think you have or knowledge you have of this or that, welcoming in someone that's going to walk beside you and help you see it in a different way, level up your game here and there, bring new eyes to what you're doing and what you're in every day. It's beyond valuable to have someone helping you in your business, especially if you're a solopreneur like me. Can't say the word, but I am. It can feel lonely at times and you can feel like you're almost just spinning your wheels on things because you only have what you know. And so a different perspective changes everything.
I think that's so true. And it's been proven true time and time again. As a teacher, I used to be surrounded by people, right? A classroom away if I needed to celebrate a win or cry quick before the next group of students came in. It was one of those things that I took for granted. And
Yeah.
when entrepreneurship came into my life and I became a business owner and a solopreneur, I was like, where are all the people? And so having
Right.
people alongside you to cheer you on, but also having that guiding force in the form of a coach has been really valuable for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm so glad that it's been valuable for you.
Same. Absolutely.
My last question for you is copy that reflects your personality. How does that help you show up in your business?
It's already proven to be a complete game changer. I have all of that we worked on with the goal of my website in mind, but repurposing that content in long form or in short form or wherever I want to use it has already been so amazing. And it's helping me to just stay on brand in who I am. I try to do that visually all the time. I try to teach my clients how to do that visually, but doing that in your brand voice and with your story behind it, it's helping me so much already. And we're 2 months in. So it's just going to continue to do that.
Yeah. I think that it just adds to that layer of consistency, right? You mentioned having the consistent visuals. That's always been a strong asset of you and of your business. And just bringing the copy to that same level and showing up consistently across social, but also on your website, soon in your emails, right? Like all of those things are going to just continue to elevate everything.
It can be daunting feeling like you need to come up with something for Instagram. I got to come up with something for my website and for my email list and for this, and looking at it from a different perspective of just pulling those little bits and working off of them to make them fit for whichever facet you're in is just, it helps you to not feel so overwhelmed.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a home base of content, of copy that you can repurpose and utilize across your platforms, across your digital footprint.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for trusting me to be your first coach and for participating in the program.
It's fantastic. I can't say enough. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for being here. I am sending a big virtual hug to Kelly for sharing her experience with Storysale with all of you today. If you want to learn more about Storysale and add your name to the waitlist for the next run of the program, I will have that link for you in the show notes, as well as a link to Kelly's website, Be Creative. As always, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, this is your Copywriter on Call signing out. Thanks for listening to the Copywriter on Call podcast. If this episode has you feeling all sorts of inspired to show up as yourself online, click that subscribe button so you don't miss my stories or practical advice to help you express your quirky, vulnerable, and authentic self online. Chat soon.